Hey guys, so I wanted to make this video and show you all my case knives. These are my little ones. I call these my little knives. Um, I've said it before in other videos. I'm not the biggest fan of little knives, not just case little knives, just little knives in general. I don't like huge knives, but I like just the average knife, like a Barlow, Congress, Trapper, something like that. However, sometimes these little knives can be really good. And in my collection here, I have 8 little case knives. And 4 of them are some of my favorite knives, and the other 4 are some of my least favorite knives. And especially in case, when they make a little knife, they can either make it perfect or it can be the complete opposite. It can be horrible. So I've actually got 9 knives here. This one right here is a special one, and I'll talk about it towards the end of the video. But I'll go ahead and show you all what you came here for. So I guess I'll start with this one. I've made a video about my Whittlers, and this was in it. I consider this a small knife. Some others may not, but I do. But this is also one of my favorite knives. This is probably a top 5 knife even for me. I love that bone. This is called salmon jig bone. That's just one of my favorite colors, and I think it's really neat to see it on a knife. It has a upside down anvil shield. It comes with a small little clip blade here and a strong little pin blade. Now that's what you want in, see that? You hear that snap? That's amazing. That's what you want in a small knife. You don't get that a lot of the time. And I took a risk buying this. I bought this off eBay. I think I got it for 60 bucks. I mean, I don't know how well of a deal I got. I mean, it's a small knife, so that's obviously going to shoot the price down, but it's also a rarer knife. And to get this handle material in a half Whittler, which I didn't have at the time, was just awesome to me, so I had to pop on it. But this is a beautiful knife the whole way around. It's got great function. The blade centering on the pin blade is basically perfect. The clip blade, it's not wanting to focus. It tends to lean a little bit more towards the right, but it ain't even nowhere near touching it. You can kind of see there. Again, I don't really care about something like that. It don't bother me too much unless it's like causing scratches on other blades. It don't bother me. There's no gaps in this knife whatsoever. But this is a really good little knife. That's probably one of my favorite little knives. The other one would be this Peanut here. I bought these the same day on eBay. This was another one. I didn't have a Peanut yet, and you know, you can't really call yourself a case knife collector if you ain't got a Peanut. So I went on there and I was just searching around thinking of trying to find one that I wanted to buy, and I've been looking for this handle for a while. This is Blue Lagoon handle material, jig bone, and I've wanted it for so long, and I finally got it. I can't remember how much I paid. I think I paid between $40 and $50 on it, which isn't too bad, I don't think. It's got this clip blade here, and it's also got a pin blade. They both have half stops. And what's cool about this knife is they come on separate springs. So there is a liner in between there. You can see it. My camera's not focusing real well, but you can kind of see it there. And it separates the 2 blades, so they're never able to scratch each other. The blade centering isn't the best on this one, I'll say that. But I could care less about the blade centering. There's no gaps. That's, you know, a big, I mean, that would be a problem. But blade centering, I could care less about. But I think this is just a really nice little Peanut. I like Peanuts personally, and they did this one well. They both have strong blades. That's where they mess up sometimes, I feel like. So there's the Peanut, and the Half Whittler. I guess I'll show you all this one. This is my Case Eisenhower. If I'm being honest, I couldn't tell you what this is. I know this is some sort of worm groove bone. When I bought it, I thought it was bone stag at first. And then I looked a little closer, because bone stag, the way you can tell what that is it'll say 6.5. And it's not focusing there. It's doing a little, it says VO6 to 63. So in a case pattern number, or in a case number on the knife, the first number indicates the handle material. So 6 is bone, 6.5 would be bone stag, 5 is stag. I don't actually really own many other case knives of any other material, and if I do, I don't really look at them a whole lot, so I couldn't really tell you any other ones off my head. But 2, the next number, will stand for the amount of blades. So in this case, it's 2 because there's 2 blades. And then after that number, it's the pattern number. So the Eisenhower pattern number is 63. Just thought I'd say that. But I know it's worm groove, some sort of worm groove bone, but I really like the Eisenhower. I think this one in specific is really nice. I don't know why. It's nothing super special. Most Eisenhowers will have his signature on there. I'm glad I got that. The back is nowhere near as pretty as the front, and that tends to be a common theme with case knives, not just small ones, especially small ones, but like this Blue Lagoon one, the back is nowhere near as pretty as the front. But I'm glad that it is this way on the smalls. And I've noticed that the small knives, the back is uglier than the front on almost every one of them. Where on a regular case knife, the back is almost always prettier because they don't have to put the shield in. I don't know. I just thought that was something I'd say. But there's the Case Eisenhower. It's got 2 pin blade and, well, technically 2 pin blades. It's basically a pin knife itself. And then here's my other favorite. This is my Pocket Hunter. This is one of my limited editions, one of 2500. It's got a nice clip blade here with a nice skinning blade right there. Pocket Hunter, I always thought was a neat little pattern. It was sort of short and thick. I always liked it, and I want to get a Hunter myself. I have a clasp Buffalo, but I've always wanted a regular Pocket Hunter. I think this has beautiful, I think it's called Bermuda green handles with the Case Arrowhead shield, which is a really nice shield, I think. Also, I don't know if I said it, but the Peanut has Case bow tie shield, and the Eisenhower just has their regular oval shield. So those are my 4 that I really love. All those would probably be in my top 15. The Peanut and the Half Whittler would probably be in my top 10 and maybe even my top 5. I don't know. These 4, these are some of my least favorite of my collection. And I'll tell you why. We'll start off with, I guess we'll just go ahead and start off with the Butterbean. I love the Butterbean, the pattern itself. This specific knife is the one I don't like. So if I could get a Butterbean that had, I'm really wanting one with lizard skin handles. I think that would be awesome. And to get strong springs, that would probably beat out the Pocket Hunter, in my opinion. However, I bought the Butterbean just because you don't see them often, and I got this for a good deal. I got it for like 30 bucks. So, I don't know. This one here is just bone. I think this was like some early form of bone stag that they were just kind of going with. The back of it, if you can see the front is like real pale. It looks like it's missing some color, but that's all right. And then you look at the back, The back is horrible. I don't know what's happened to the back here. I hate it personally. I think it looks awful, but the front isn't too bad, so that's all right. I do love the blades. I love this spear blade with the swedge, and the same for the pin with the swedge. I love swedges and knives. I think they look really good. I also just like the regular canoe. So the butterbean was a given that I'd like. But the thing about it is, now that sounded really good. That one's horrible. So the spear blade here, it's not horrible, but it depends on when you do it. So sometimes, see that you hear how there wasn't even a snap when it closed. There's barely a snap when it opens, and when it closes, it will barely even make a sound. And then the pin blade will give us sort of a snap. So it's pretty good, the pin blade. But this front spear blade, it's got a horrible spring on it, which sucks. I don't know. I like the butterbean. I'd probably put it as my favorite out of them three, just because I like the butterbean in general. I'll go ahead and do this one. This is the Tiny Texas Toothpick. And if I'm being honest, there's nothing wrong with this knife. I mean, the spring on it's good. I mean, it works just how it's supposed to. The blade centering could be better. It should be about there, but it kind of tends to go that way. And I don't know if that's dirty. I think that's just, yeah, that's just dirty. I thought there was a crack or something in it. But I don't know. I just don't like the look of the toothpick myself. I think it just looks kind of weird. And I also don't like skinny little blades like this. This is probably the best put together out of those four. It works, but it's hard to mess up something with just one blade. I don't know. I'm not the hugest fan of it. I know a lot of people collect tiny toothpicks, but I just never got into it. I never thought that that was something I liked. I would much rather collect like peanuts or butter beans. Here's a doctor's knife. This was actually my mom's. She ended up giving it to me when I started getting into case knives because I kind of wanted a doctor's knife, and this is, of course, a baby doc. It's kind of dirty. And it also works fairly fine. I mean, that blade right there, the spatula blade, I mean, it don't even make a sound. It just rolls out, which no one uses the spatula anyway, but I don't know. The spear blade's okay on it. The doctor's knife also looks weird in my opinion, but this is also lime green bone. And lime green's probably my least favorite color. I don't like lime green, but it's alright, I guess. It don't bother me. This is my only knife with a diamond shield, so that's cool. And it's a pattern I don't have. I didn't have the baby doc. I would like to get a big doctor's knife and a big gun stock. I feel like those go together. And I don't have either of those, so I want to get one of them. This one's the one I'm most disappointed in. This is a baby copperhead. This is red stag. Now, this is the only instance where I think the back looks prettier than the front on these small knives. I think the front's just missing some. But this was an expensive knife because it was stag. And I'm not going to say how much I paid for it because I kind of regret it. Because of the blade action. This pin blade, do you see how that opened? It closes fine, but listen how it opens. You don't even hear anything. That's horrible. Like, I can understand it's a small knife, small blade, small spring, so it's not going to be as loud, but there's not even a sound when it opens at all, and I think that's horrible. And then this clip blade, it barely made a sound when it closed, and it didn't even... there was kind of a jump there, but it didn't even make a sound. It's horrible. I mean, the knife itself don't have any, I will say that neither of the blades are centered. Well, I mean, you can't really center that clip blade, or really either of them, or else they'll scratch, but I don't know, because they're on one spring, but I don't know, it's just kind of a disappointment for the money I paid. I wanted to send it back, but it just kind of, it's getting worse and worse over time, and there's really nothing I can do. And at this point, I don't even know if they'd give me my money back or fix it or whatever, or give me a new one. I don't know. I'll have to think on what I got to do with that, but we'll see. This is the one I told you I was gonna, listen to that. See how small this little knife is? Listen to that. That's well made. This ain't even a case knife. This is the smallest knife I have. My grandfather got this when he was born, and he passed it on to my dad when my dad was born, and then when I was born, Dad gave it to me. And this was my first ever knife, obviously. And it's just a small little China knife. The blade's beat to death because Dad said he used to pick locks with it and stuff. And it's almost useless because, I mean, it's not even, I don't even think it's as long as my finger. It's just as long as my middle finger there. So it's hard to use it for anything, but I don't know. It's just kind of sentimental because it was my first ever knife. And it's still probably got the strongest spring of any knife over there. So, yeah, I just wanted to kind of throw that one in there. I don't think I've ever shown it. I don't know if it was in my original knife collection or not. My original video, I'm not sure, but I don't want to keep y'all any longer. I just kind of wanted to throw out some thoughts I had on my small case knives, because you can either get good ones like these, and these become some of my favorites, or you can get bad ones. So you never know. And this butterbean bugs me because I hate the handles and that one spring. It ain't even that bad. I kind of like it, honestly, but I don't know. Those are my small case knives, and that one little China knife. But I'll let y'all go. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Leave a like, leave a comment. I love reading the comments. I love talking to you all. Actually, I wanted to shout out Doom Crew again. I shout him out in almost every one of my videos. He's an awesome guy. His latest video on, I don't know if it'll be his latest when this is posted, but his video on his talk about his case knives and his silver script knives and stuff, he shouted me out at the end of that video. I'd like to say that was very kind of him to do that. He didn't even have to do anything, mention me at all, but just kind of out of the kindness of his heart, he just kind of shouted me out on a post one day, and ever since then he's just been continuing to shout me out. And I've had many guys, comment on my videos and be like, hey, Doom Crew sent me, and not just him, but other YouTubers have started to as well. I like Georgia Adventurer, Richter Knives, Big J's Knives. They're all there, and I know there's tons more that I haven't said, but thank you all very much. It means a lot to me. Especially thank you to Doom Crew. So thank you all very much. I'll see y'all later.